rice for 500 rupees, sugar for 300 rupees, milk powder for 800 rupees, electric cuts to save fuel. Exams have been cancelled due to shortage of paper. The situation is too bad that army has been sent to distribute the fuel. This is what's happening in Sri Lanka. India's neighbor is in big economic crisis. But how did Sri Lanka reach this position today? What's the timeline? How India is helping its neighbor? And what's this Sri Lanka's debt profile? And what ahead? My name is Jaspal, studying 6th class in Aditya School, Narsapuram. Now I am before you to talk about the economic crisis in Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is dependent on importing even basic stuff like sugar, Latin, paper, petroleum and diesel. And now the country doesn't have any money to purchase these all items. Moreover, it's under a massive debt. But why Sri Lanka is in this debt? Well, there are 4 reasons for it. Number 1, 2019 Easter bombings. Sri Lanka is heavily dependent on tourism industry to manage its economic situation. But on 21st of April on 2019, there were 3 luxury hotels and 3 churches in Colombo what exploded in the series of terrorist suicide explosions. Nearly 270 people died in that explosions, including foreign people. According to one report, after that event, 21% of Sri Lanka's tourism industry was declined. At the same time, it lost so much of currency with it, because tourists bring a lot of currency with them. Number 2, this is the time of bad political decision. On December of 2019, newly elected president of Sri Lanka reduced the value-added taxes from 15% to 8%. This made the situation in Sri Lanka even worse. Number 3, the COVID-19 crisis. On March 2020, the COVID brought lockdown with it and locked all of us in our houses. This lockdown crippled the Sri Lanka's economic and destroyed whatever is left in tourism industry, because tourists can't come to Sri Lanka and visit. Sri Lankans can't get their money to manage their food items. So lockdown also crippled, and lockdown made the situation even worse, more than these explosions and the value-added tax. Number 4, this is also the bad political decision made by government. The president of Sri Lanka thought Sri Lanka should be the capital, the nation of 100% organic farming. As a result, he banned all the natural fertilizers, agricultural chemicals. Sri Lankans also thought this would be healthy and cheap, but it wasn't. Instead, they got crop failure and increase in the rate of food items. These all 4 situations made the Sri Lanka worse, but the debt made it even worse. Now let us look at its debt profile. Sri Lanka owes $11.8 billion to sovereign bonds and $4.6 billion to Asian development banks and over $3 billion to Japan and China. And now it's looking for help. Of course, India also extended its helping hand. Recently, Sri Lanka received $1 billion line credit from India to manage its food and fuel status. And in addition to it, India also sent $400 million to Sri Lanka.
We are processing line of credit for buying essential foods items and essential needs like pharmaceuticals, the industrial raw materials, cement, and the animal feeds, and also the fertilizer. In this business, we got first shipment as rice shipment. India always support us in whenever we necessary.
India always supports us. That's what the Sri Lankan Trade Ministry said.
Let's hope Sri Lanka would get better in this situation. Thank you.